friends, welcome back once again. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I am back from a short Thanksgiving-based vacation where I went and visited my girlfriend and her family in Kent. Now I'm back in Ellensburg and back on my attempt to improve my consistency. While I was over there, I was able to edit 3 or 4 videos. I just need to finish the commentaries for those. So for the next few days, my personal challenge is going to be removing any kind of procrastination and excuses and just going ahead and finishing those and getting them posted so that I can have my outlet back and be back on track in terms of that. My training has been going very well. The finishing of my school year has been going very well. My practice of mindfulness and meditation to improve myself as an athlete and as a person are all feeling like they are more on track than they have been in the past, and I do want to extend that to this medium as well. And so let's get right into the video topic that I want to discuss today. We're going to touch on and expand some things that I mentioned in my last video, mostly towards the end of the video when I talked about programming and how, while it is very important and it is a good idea to, whenever you're trying to pursue mastery in a skill like lifting or like music or anything, you need to approach it in a way that makes sense and allows you the opportunity for growth through managing negative variables and pushing to create consistent and incremental progress over time. That's taken care of with my coaches. I trust the process. I trust them to do their job of making sure that I'm doing the work that I need to improve. That's the same way I try to talk to my athletes when I'm coaching and programming for them. Just trust the process. Everything's there for a reason. And you just have to focus on execution. That's the importance for the athlete. You want to learn while you're going through it, but I can give you the best program in the world, but if you're not executing it to the best of your ability and putting the appropriate focus and intentionality behind the things that you're doing, the program itself is worthless. It's the same reason why I don't feel like you need to keep any secrets when it comes to this stuff. This isn't There are no secrets. That's, if something works, you can share it with the world. The only real challenge you're going to have is if someone is willing to out-execute you, and if you believe that you're putting in your best effort every single time, then that's something you just don't need to worry about. Pursue excellence in your approach and focus on the execution, and that is going to allow you the most control of all of the variables that you have any ability to control anyway. So what I want to be discussing here, since I already talked about some of these things in that last video, are some of the choices that I've made moving forward with this training that you're going to see in some of the videos that maybe look a little bit different. I'm making some different training choices in the way that I'm carrying out the lifts themselves. So you just watched those squats, my pause squats, and then a couple of regular squats are coming up here. But you may notice that I'm not wearing my SBD knee sleeves. I am a big proponent that using a good quality compression knee sleeve can improve your ability to lift. I think that it can put weight on the bar just by wearing the sleeve, almost like a light knee wrap, which I have competed in, which I do know what that is like. So I feel like I can make that comparison. Some people in the past have said, oh, I don't get anything out of my sleeves, and maybe you don't. If that's the case, I feel like you either are using a sleeve that is not adequate, that is not being used correctly, or you are just one of the very unfortunate few who can't find a way to get turnover with your particular style of squatting. For me, using a tight, high quality competitive knee sleeve is beneficial and does put weight on the bar for my lift. So you're noticing, though, I'm not wearing those. I'm wearing my much more relaxed, much less assistive Ray-Ban knee sleeves, and that's very intentional. I'm trying to utilize this chance where we're using lighter weights to work on improving my overall strength and utilizing this opportunity to remove something that I view as purely assistive. There is a protective value in it. I think that it does help me stave off some injury, and that's why I'm still wearing the Ray band that just gives some very light compression and a little bit of heat in that joint area and allows me to remember to cue certain positions with my knees, but I'm not getting as much assistance out of those as I do out of my SBD sleeves, and that is why I'm making the choice not to wear them. With the bench pressing that you saw, I have switched almost exclusively to a soft touch and go performance of the lift, especially with the higher repetition ranges that we're working in, with not only the higher volume, but just intra-set volume. I'm doing sets of 9, 8, 7, 6s, and 5s for my pressing, which is pretty crazy for me, where I tend to live in the 2 to 3 rep range for most of my lifting as far as comfort zone. Doing that has allowed me to improve and fix the bad habit that I have of over relaxing at the bottom of a bench press and heaving. I tend to actually be stronger when I let the bar sink into my chest and have less control at the bottom of a press. My paused bench and my touch and go bench have long since been about the same or even favoring the paused press. And so for the sake of my improved control of the weight and some more hypertrophy focus, I am trying this different thing and pausing only my last rep of each set. So far, I feel like it's been helping me a lot. I don't know if it's something that I would continue with my, I know it's not something I would continue with my lower rep ranges, but in these higher reps, I feel like it's been protecting my shoulder and allowing me to get more quality repetitions with higher levels of focus throughout the lift. So that's another execution thing. You're watching the raw deadlifts that I'm doing now, focusing a little bit more on my resets. For the suit work that you saw, this particular session, it was 3 weeks ago, was the first time I put the single ply deadlift suit back on, specifically to prep me for the Pro Deadlift Invitational, which is 2 days after my next full power meet at the Arnold Classic. So learning that has been a challenge, but a little bit of something different, but we're still keeping my raw deadlift work pretty submaximal and focusing so much on fighting for position and fighting to just stay consistent. I have a very bad tendency when I get tired in my deadlifts to get really lazy and not reset my neutral spine and reset my glute position, and I just start to pull the reps without thinking about them. And one of the big cueing points for me in this entire training cycle with every lift that I'm doing is to treat every single lift as an opportunity to improve a skill and to take it very seriously and to not take any set or any repetition in a set for granted. If I am getting lazy and sloppy in the execution of these lifts, then I am, even with these lighter weights, then I shouldn't be doing the set. I am giving away chances to improve and work on what I'm doing. And anytime that I'm not focused on what I'm doing, I have switched my mentality to say, if it's not worth giving your absolute best on every single rep of every single set in every single one of these sessions, then the rest of it doesn't matter. And that maybe is a little bit of an extreme kind of attention. I think there is a time and a place where you just have to kind of relax a little bit with your lifting, but I am really trying to approach this from a mental standpoint of this is my opportunity to train, and I can relax and I can enjoy the benefits that come with it, and I can enjoy and relax and have downtime in between. But when I go to the garage, my focus is on getting better. And I feel like that intentionality in my approach has been helping me for the last few weeks, and I hope that it continues. You're going to see in the next few videos that for the most part that seems to be the case, that seems to be working. And I also have been putting more time and attention into the execution of the time that I spend in between my lifting when it comes to my mobility and rehabilitation work on my off days. I do have a video where I filmed one of my post-session kind of mobility cool down. It's not really a routine, it's just kind of a grouping of that. I might put that up in a video as well. It is a little bit long, but I almost want to keep it the way it is, just so that people see some of the extra stuff that goes into this, where it's not just top sets and it's not just working sets. It's, in my opinion, the phrase that gets thrown around in our community so often of sacrifice to win means less about the actual workouts themselves and more about the intention that you're putting into the rest of your life. This is a lifestyle sport. This isn't something where you show up one day and just go to work. It encompasses every part of you, and that's one of the reasons that it's so challenging. But it's also the biggest reason that I love it so much, and I find so much meaning and purpose from just doing something silly like pretending to sit down on an invisible chair for a squat, or squishing yourself and unsquishing yourself with a bench press, or bending over and picking something up just to put it right back down for a deadlift. That's essentially what we're doing, but you find the purpose in what you're doing, and when you focus so much on the execution to improve it, it becomes purposeful and meaningful in your own life, and that is why we do what we do. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have many more ready to go that will be coming up in the next few days. I'm challenging myself. If I don't do it, call me out in the comment section. I need your guys' help and support to work on the execution of this part of my life, because everything else feels more in control, and I just want to be firing on all cylinders. So thank you so much, and I will talk to you very soon. Have a great night. Bye.